my channel. My name is Jayme and I am a mama on a budget. So thank you for joining me in today's video, which has been requested, which is to go through and explain my budgeting process and how I make budgeting work for my family. So I just want to start off before I jump into anything with the disclaimer that I am not a financial planner. I have no financial training. I am not a financial advisor. I have no background whatsoever in the finance industry. I am purely a mum who is going through and sharing her journey through budgeting and life essentially. So it's purely for reference. It's not me saying, hey, go out and do what I'm doing. Definitely not. So if you can take anything out of this video and if it helps apply to if it can help you in your budgeting journey, then great. I really hope so. But again, please remember, I'm not a financial planner, so this may not work for anybody else but me, but hey, it works for me. So so let's jump on in. So with my budgeting process, it is something that has taken time and has evolved over the 7 years that Michael and I have been together, basically. So coming from a background where I'm quite frugal, so I'm very mindful in my spending, compared to being married to somebody who's the opposite of me when it comes to money mindset. Not to say that he just goes and wastes his money. That's definitely not the case. But, Michael's much more free with his wallet. He likes to go out and spoil himself with things, and believe me, I do too. But Michael's got much more expensive hobbies than what I do. I mean, mine's just playing around with planners and getting sticker books and things like that, whereas Michael's is ice hockey and golf and things that they're not cheap. On his newest one is upgrading his car, which is a ute, and has these grand ideas. It's going to take $1,000, thousands of dollars. But anyway, and that's not the point. So again, I'll go through and explain our journey of how we got to where we are just quickly. So again, we have tried many different methods of, one shared bank account to following a method called the barefoot investor. So again, not 100% sure if this is something that is worldwide, but it was, kind of a big thing in Australia for a little while where everyone sort of jumped on the barefoot investor way of budgeting. What is that? Ew. Anyway, but yeah, so I tried this method and again, sort of manipulated it to make it work for us, but we've basically gotten to where we are now. So with me in front of me now is my current budget planner, which again, as you guys would have seen in my video so far, is this planner here. So again, this one is by Plum Paper planner in the Ultimate Financial Layout. So if you are looking for a paper planner to go through and write down all your expenses, there's two that I've tried that I've got here in front of me now. So we've got this one, which again is the Plum Paper planner version, and then the one that I've used previously is one from the Happy Planner. So the Happy Planner version is basically how I started. I'm going to go to a blank month because I didn't always use this. Perfect. Let's go with July. So again, this is a different style of budget planner, which again, I think I might actually go back to this one next year. This one, I like this one. It's doing good things, but I'm not enjoying it as much as this one. This one has more ability for me to decorate, which as you guys I've told you guys before, I'm a decorative planner. So for example, I like to be able to, put my stickers in and, decorate it to the side here and, stuff like that. So that appeals to me more than, the Plum Paper one, which is just there's not a lot of space in it. Again, this is just me being pedantic. Again, I like to decorate. I'm decorative, so it makes me want to use it more when it's decorated. But anyway, so whereas with this one, if this might be a bit more up to speed, so again, you've got your monthly layout just like the other one, but this one helps you a bit more with breaking down your expenses. So this is sort of how it started for me with the breakdown of my expenses. So I would sort of work out between these 8 categories where my spendings were, and sort of going through and categorize or subcategorizing between all the categories. which was really good. And again, this was my starting point of how I got to breaking down all my expenses. So, and then again, there's a little savings tracker over here, account and debts over here. And then over the page is a weekly breakdown. So as I mentioned, this is how I started my budgeting journey. So for example, if I go back to February, maybe March might be a better one. So for March, for example, so went through and categorized all my spending, and then, you know, had a section here about my debts. And then I created this section as being my sinking funds and keeping track of what my sinking funds were at the end of that month. So I really liked this layout. So I think I'm going to go back to this. Again, this might be more just my open thinking. But why I'm showing you this is what I do for my budgeting once I get it out. So this is an old one. It'd be helpful if I could find it. Hold, please. Ah, perfect, found it. Okay, so this is an old one. So this one here, so what I did is I would write down all of our shared expenses. So everything that we need to make our household run. So I would go through each of these, and then I would write down what those expense amounts were for the time period of whatever it was. So say rent was monthly, you know, electricity and gas are fortnightly. So I'd write down what the expenses were and then divided them to make them a weekly amount. So then from there, I would tally them all up, come up with a final figure, divide it by 2, and then that is the set amount that both Michael and I have to pay into our bank accounts, our shared bank account each week. So again, Michael and I, we run off a, we both have our own individual bank accounts. So we have a shared bank account where all of our daily house expenses come out of. And so when our pays go in, the first thing we do is put that set amount in. So that is an old amount, but we put our set amount into that bank account, and then whatever's left over is yours to do whatever the hell you want with it. And then again, because it's your own money, there's no, you know, did you spent that much on this, and none of that bickering. This is how we've found budget peace. So he can go out and do whatever he wants with his money, and I do whatever I want with my money. So for mine, I put a lot of mine into my my budget binders. But again, as you guys know, if you've seen my videos before, I do splurge on myself before I go out and put any money into those binders. So they are just there to make sure that if that event occurs, I've got the money for it, but I don't settle myself short and leave myself with nothing just so I can stuff those envelopes. That's not what I do here. First and foremost, I look after me. And then whatever's left over goes into those binders. So again, I don't make it strict on myself. So I know I have 380 is my minimum, that if I want to stuff all my purple ones, you know, my must stuff ones into each week, that's the amount that I would need to have, and anything above that goes into whatever else is left. But again, I spoil myself. Again, nothing compared to, I mean, you know, a few $50 on stickers and, you know, $60 on a couple of planners or whatever. So again, it's not a $400 golf club or anything. That'd be nice, but no. But again, I treat myself. That's what I'm all about, making sure that I enjoy life and I reward myself with the money that I've worked hard to earn. But again, if there's something that comes up, so again, all the money that's in those binders is my money. So Michael doesn't touch that. So Michael does do his own version of cash envelopes. Again, it's nothing as extensive as mine, but he does have his own little system that he has. So let's say if an incidental pops up, let's say a medical appointment, a specialist appointment for one of the kids, if it was, you know, $300 and we knew it was coming, we would split that in two. So I would have my 150, which I've got my medical one, so I've already got my 150 there, but I would give Michael the heads up and go, hey, you know, little man's got an appointment coming up in a month. It's going to cost $300. I need you to give me $150. So then it's up to him to make sure that he either has it right there and then, or he puts away for it to make sure he's got it when the time comes. So that's sort of how we run our expenses. And again, if something else random pops up altogether, And of course, if the money's not there, we figure out a way together to make that work. So we are very big on working together as a team. We're a team. So, you know, it's not, you know, you did this and well, you spent money on that. And no, we don't do none of that. So you go out and you blow all your money over the weekend. That's your problem, buddy. It's not mine. So I hope that video was helpful of how we make our budgeting process work for us. Again, if anybody's got any questions, definitely leave them down in the comment section below. But again, I will reiterate, I am not a financial planner. So, all right, guys, I hope that was really helpful. Of course, if you've ever got any requests for any videos, leave them down in the comment section below. I read every single comment and I respond to every single one if I can. Because I like to be able to reach out and communicate with all you guys, because I appreciate all of you and everyone who watches these videos. You know, we're like a family. I love it. All right, guys, I will see you in the next one.